So, fully factorize. Now, these kind of questions, they're really a little bit difficult, a little bit messy, and actually, if you ask my opinion, I don't like this kind of expansions, but we need to deal with it. So let's do A. So we have 2x squared minus 9x minus 5. The idea is, the technique is splitting this number into two parts so that we have four terms, and then we group the first two and factorize the first two somehow, and then factorize the last two somehow, and then factorize these factorizations, and so on and so on. So we need to split this, but we need to split this smart. How we can do this? And the idea is, we need to come up with a number, with two numbers that have a sum of -9, okay, and a product, and the product of these numbers. So -9 is here, which is sum is -9, and the product is the product of these two numbers. So the -9 product is when you multiply something, right? 2 times 3 is 6 is their product. So we need to come up with two numbers that sum to -9, and their product is -10. And I said that guessing these two numbers from the product is easier because there are not much combinations that will give you -10 as a product. There are billions of combinations that can get you -9 as a sum. So for example, -8 and -1, -7, -2, -5, -4, 10, -1, I don't know, 15 and -15 and 6. By the way, the thing that I said, -10 and 1, that was better. So there are different ways how you can sum two numbers to get -9, but there are really not that much combinations that will give you -10 as a product. So start with the product. So for example, you have -1 and 10, 1 and -10, 2 and -5, -5 and 2. Those are all the combinations that you have. You don't have anything else, right? So you need to pick the pair that will give you -9 as the sum. If you add them, this will not give you -9, right? This is not the answer. If you add them, you will have -9, right? So that is the answer. If you add them, you will not get. If you add them, you will not get -9. So those are not the answers. So the answer is the thing that we need. The thing that we need is this 1 and -10. So these are the numbers. So if you are bad at doing this in your head, just list the possibilities as I did, one by one, list all of them, and then think about the sum. So start with the product, list all the numbers so that you see them, okay? Don't try to do this in your head because it may be difficult at the start. Later on, you will get used to it and you will be very comfortable with this one. But at the beginning, just do this on your notebook, on your paper. So 1 and -10. So we do 2x squared, we'll leave this as it is, plus, because it has a plus in front, plus 1x, I'm not going to write 1, plus x, minus 10x, okay, and minus 5. As you saw, I added x's to both these numbers, okay, so that's we should do this always. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you write first -10x, then plus x. The answer will be the same, okay? So I'm gonna do this. So what I do next, I factorize something from these two things. So I can factor out x because x is common to both of them. What's left inside, if I factor out x here, I'm left with 2x, okay, since this is gone because I factored out x. And I factor out x. When you factor out everything, you're not left with anything. Then what to factor out here? First, let's factor out negative, since both of them have negative, and I will factor out 5 because both of them have 5 in it. Okay, what's left inside? 2x, right? And since I factor out minus, so I have plus, and since I factored out 5, I don't left with anything else. So when I don't left with any, when I'm not left with anything left, I put just 1. And this is a really great thing that I got the same things here. So what I do, I factor out them as well. Okay, and in the other bracket, I write down the coefficients of this bracket. So x minus 5. I mean, by coefficients, I mean what's in front of them, right? X minus 5. So that's a full factorization. I'm gonna try to do the next one. I'm gonna try to do this real quick. Okay, so what do? You say that the sum is this number, and the product is the multiplication of these two numbers. So it's -4. Take care about the signs as well. Okay, so if you have a negative times positive, you will get negative. List all the products, list all the pairs that will get -4 as a product. So it's 1 times -4, -1 times 4, 2 times -2, and actually -2 times 2, but it doesn't matter, right? This is the same thing as this one. So what's the sum of these numbers? This one will give you, this one will give you -3, right? This one, when you add them, will give you 3. So I don't need this one, and this one is funny because you will get 0. So this will not. This is not what I need. I need 3. So that's why this is the thing that I need. So what I do, I put this, right? I copy the first and the last. I split this into two numbers. I write -x, okay, and again, I put x near it, and the same thing with the last one, 4x, and it doesn't matter what is the order. I can put 4x first and -x next. I would get the same answer. I take out x from these two numbers, okay, so 2x minus 1, and I take what's common to both of them. It's 2, right? So I take 2 out, so I'm left with 2x minus 1. What I see that these are the same, and it's really great thing to have. These should be the same. So I take 2x minus 1 out again. So I'm left with, again, I just copy the things that were in front of these brackets. X was in front here, and 2 was in front here. Again, I'm careful about the sign. I have plus, so I copied plus. So yeah, that's the fully factorized version. Yeah, I think that's it.